Talk 1010.
Gotcha. 9 minutes after 3 o'clock. I'm Jim Richards. John Tory comes up in a half an hour here on News Talk 1010. The dilemma, a bit of a face-off with the Toronto District School Board as they're trying to meet budget. Thinking of closing some cafeterias. Cafeterias aren't making any money. Are they there to make money or offer a nutritional option for your kids? Well, they don't do that. That's all they do now. There's nothing that's enjoyable for the kids to eat. They're going off campus to McDonald's or to any number of different places. So for the sake of money anyway, should the schools get back into the junk food business? The province mandated that they couldn't do that any longer, and now nobody eats in the cafeteria. We'll get to that before 4 o'clock here on News Talk 1010. Well, you've heard so many stories over the last little while, especially through Occupy and people up at York University. This is not that much of a shock to, but sometimes in a student body at a university, opinions are so divergent that, is that even a word? Diverse would be a more appropriate term. Opinions are so diverse that you can't get everybody on the same page. You've seen it when it comes to abortion at York University. So students at university have to pay student fees. They go towards the student union, student federation. Sometimes those fees go towards perhaps political causes that not everyone is on side with, but you don't have the option of opting out. And one student isn't too happy about that. University of Ottawa student Ed Inch joins us now. Ed, how are you?
I'm pretty good, thank you, Jim. How are you doing?
Good, thank you. Can we talk about your name for a second?
Yeah, sure.
People have made fun, right?
Yeah, it was a interesting high school and middle school, too, actually. Actually, even today, it's still pretty interesting.
You're okay with it. Have you ever think of change your name, Ed Inch?
No, I like it. It turns a lot of heads.
What about an ES on the end?
Esquire?
No. Yeah, that's exactly what I meant. Ed Inches. Oh, man. Okay, let's get to this important stuff. That's the first time somebody ever said that to you?
That's the first time. I did change my middle name to Seven, though, but...
Oh, did you?
No, I'm joking. I'm sorry.
Well, what are some of the jokes that people say about your name? Well, what is your middle name?
It's actually Adam.
It's good it's not Richard or something, or Peter. If it was Richard or Peter, that would be really devastating. Okay, so you're out in Edmonton right now. You still attend the University of Ottawa?
Yes, I do.
Now, the University of Ottawa was using student fees for what? Or first of all, how much are student fees?
They're about $92 a semester, and every semester you're... Yeah, that is a bit. That's quite a lot of money considering, all they cry about is lowering tuition fees, yet they make you pay this $92 every semester that goes towards administration costs of the student union. I use the word union, but in reality they're actually a corporation, a registered corporation. They're not even a union. They use it for funding political activities that, not everyone agrees with, and the money shouldn't go towards that. It should go towards helping students.
Yeah, I mean, you don't have a problem with Franche Week and all that kind of stuff and other things that student unions you think of when you give the money, do you?
No, I don't.
Yeah, that kind of stuff, throwing parties or whatever a student union would do, that's what I would think student unions would be useful for. But at least at the University of Ottawa, I think this probably happens at a lot of places. They use the money. They were sponsoring Occupy Ottawa, is that correct?
Yeah, they sent out an email encouraging us to students, we should stand in solidarity with the Occupy movement.
Can you imagine, folks? Can you imagine? You're going to university, and I would be if I was in university. Let's all pretend for a second. I would be okay. Whatever they want to believe, I don't care what other students want to do. But what, you're using my money and you're giving it to the Occupy people? Okay, I don't think that the people on Wall Street or Bay Street were fairly prosecuted after the fall of the economy. But I don't want my money going towards Occupy. How dare you?
Yeah, the money, they also funded buses to go towards the Montreal protest, the student protests that I'm sure everyone's aware of.
Are you kidding
that are happening.
In Ottawa?
Yeah, in Ottawa, they sent an email.
Ontario
Yes.
students put people in buses to go protest over the high tuition rates in Montreal?
Yes. Our student union president, as well as her friends or whatever you want to call them, they went out.
Do
they
they vote
rented
on
a
these
bus.
things? Are there any referendums or any vote? Or what kind of input do they have before they decide how they're going to drain the student union's budget for these political causes?
As far as my understanding was, I think the Board of Administration, which is also a big waste of money,
Ed Inch, have you, Ed Inch, done any sniffing around in terms of other student unions at other universities? Is this just typical of the University of Ottawa, or could the same be said of all universities right across this country? You're out in Edmonton right now. I want you to hold that thought. We'll get to it in a second, 15 minutes after 3 o'clock. News Talk 1010, Time Saver Traffic.
The 401 is busy west.
How many of you listening right now, your kids are in university, maybe you're in university up at York or here U of T, Western, I don't know where the hell you're going, and you're forking over $92 a semester. When when you're facing huge student debt and perhaps eating macaroni and cheese for every single meal, and you can't afford your next case of beer, all of these important things, and they're deciding to pack a bus full of kids and ship them off to Montreal to protest for another province's tuition hikes. That's what Ed Inch is telling us right now, who's with the University of Ottawa, is a student there, and you're trying to divorce yourself from the student union or make sure that you don't have to pay this $92 towards these political causes, correct?
That is 100% correct.
Now, is the behavior of this university student union different than any other student federation?
In my opinion, I honestly don't think it is. The same type of people that have a specific agenda vote themselves in basically a popularity contest where probably 10% of students actually end up voting. And they basically run on the same ideas generally.
And what are people saying there at the university? If 10% of the people vote, I'm not sure how accurate that is, but let's say it's kind of in the ballpark, and I wouldn't be surprised that it would be. If 10% of the people, the student body, vote, and this is the kind of stupidity that they're going, I bet you most people don't know where their money is going.
Yeah, I think a lot of that, too, is people don't know where the money is going. I talked to some of my friends about it. Most of them had no idea about the bus going to Montreal to protest the really high tuition rates in Quebec. So I think it's a lack of accountability as well with the student unions.
Yeah, man. I mean, how many people right now have your kids are out and they're trying to, make money because they have to go back to school, obviously, in September, and they want to make as much money as they possibly can before they go back in September. And that helps you out, too, because if you're a parent, it'll cut the burden of you helping support your kid. And to find out that $92, some of that money is going towards some of this stupidity, that's absolutely insane. So what does the student union say to you, Ed Inch, who's with us right now from Edmonton? Yeah, that's his name. No offense, Ed. What are they saying to you when you're talking about pulling out?
Well, I sent them an email last year asking to basically not be a part of the student union. The president of the student union at that time, Amalia Sava, asked me why I didn't want to be a member of the student union anymore, and I told them why. And then after that, they started ignoring me. They didn't answer any more of my emails. I found out through a group of students that there's a form that we can sign that one of the students wrote up that would essentially allow us to resign from the student union. And they continued sending me their monthly emails, which contain things like support the students, support the postal workers, support the Quebec students, support Occupy Ottawa.
So and they have to postal, like any dispute that happens, they want to use your money in the student union to send like any strike, like Air Canada, any one of these things, they want to take a political stand against.
Oh, there is a stand, and they have posters they'll post up saying "United Students United with Postal Workers."
Given the history that we have with social awareness and movements in universities. university and on campus is, I don't think anybody would have a problem with that kind of stuff, you know? This is where you go through, maybe you're coming of age where you stand up for what you believe in or whatever. But not with student money, not with my money. It shouldn't be used for any political purposes. Those things should be organized and can be organized on campus. Do whatever the heck you want within reason, but not with my money.
Exactly. And there's no way you can, as of right now, there's no way you can opt out. Your money goes toward this. You don't have a say.
It's insane. Ed, thank you very much for your time. Good luck with your fight and breaking. You could be you're the Rosa Parks of breaking these student federations from coast to coast, and we appreciate your time.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
All right. I just realized, folks, don't email me on my Rosa Parks comparison. It was stupid, and I apologize if it offended anybody. The Jackie Robinson is what I meant to say. Again, don't email me. I get your point, and hopefully you understood mine as well. Okay, down at City Hall.